Hello traders, welcome to today's video. It is Tuesday the 28th of November and this is your Bitcoin daily market update for you. As always, please do hit the like button, hit subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a follow on Twitter because we also upload these videos onto Twitter. And if you are watching on Twitter, please give this video a like, repost if you find it useful, comment below, and go and subscribe to us on YouTube because we also post these videos on YouTube. And actually on YouTube, it's a bit better quality. So if you want to get the better quality experience, then go over to the YouTube page and you'll be able to watch this over there. So Bitcoin over the past couple of days hasn't really done very much. So since my update yesterday, when we were talking about these two key areas to hold, so the first one being the confluence that we had at our old weekly level and the previous week EQ. When I released yesterday's video, we were looking at this having the potential to maybe get a bit of a bounce here, but ultimately I was expecting lower and I wanted to see 36.4 to 36.500 happen. However, we just had this move down, move down, move down, move down, and then a bit of an SFP of these local lows, slight change in market structure. And then as soon as the New York session closed yesterday, we got that move back up to our previous week open, weekly open, and up towards that anchored VWAP that we have over here. Now, today we've just finished a trading room, our London trading room with the crew, and we were going over this setup. So basically, I would still think that the move down to 36.4 to 36.5 is very much possible and very much probable. And this really is the area that is our major resistance so far. So we saw yesterday, we had that move above the weekly open. We came back in. So this yesterday would have been the daily open. Come back into it, take out local lows, and then we drop lower. Okay, similar situation to today. Okay, so we're seeing we've taken out these local highs, come into our daily open, so far have rejected, and this is an opportunity to go short to look for a move down to 36.400, or at the very least to take out the Asia lows. What we have here as well is a nice range that's been formed on the Monday session also. So this basically being one of the trade setups that we currently have, and being a relatively decent risk to reward on here, where you're looking at short from basically exactly where we just came into, taking out those highs into the daily open, invalidation up here, you're looking at take profit one, and then you're looking at that move down to 36.4 to 36.5. Now, if we do continue higher, okay, we can see here, this is our Asia high, our Asia low. There is a high probability that that one side of that gets taken through the day. Now, yesterday, the high remained the extreme of the day. Okay, so the Asia highs put in the high for the day, and we continued lower. Another case so far today where we've seen very, very similar. Okay, what happened? Quick spike down, deviation to the top, come back in, back test, continuation lower, quick spike down, deviation above, lose this, come back into back test and lower. So basically a repeat of exactly what happened yesterday at a very similar time of the day here as well. So that is the scenario that we're looking at. If we do come up and take out our Asia highs, and we've got this anchored VWAP coming from our basically our yearly high so far, so that 38,400 level, anchored VWAP from there, which has caused there's been supply at that the entire move down. So if we are to get a move up to take Asia highs, then there is that to get through. And then, of course, we have above that, we've got our Monday highs and our Monday lows. Now, the probability would suggest that Monday low is more likely to get taken at this stage, which is why I am personally looking for either the rejection here, and we probably lose this, and then we're looking down, or we get that continuation, quick sweep of the highs, and then a similar situation. Okay, so this turns into a bit more of a range. But for myself, yeah, a relatively good area to be looking for a short. Now, if we do reclaim this, like we can see 1, 2, 3 touches of that anchored VWAP. We can see yesterday we rejected off the weekly open. So if we are to break that, then that would actually start to look very bullish. And once again, we'd have to be aiming for highs again, okay? So you've got some excess up here, 38K, that repeating level. So a move up to 38K becomes quite likely. And then you'd have your previous week high, which isn't too far away from that. Ultimately, when you're looking at the major resistance that we have, okay, then we are within this daily order block, but we haven't yet hit the macro POC, which was from our last bull run. Okay, so you have this big POC here where we're not quite there yet. So I did want to see that final push up to get to 38,720. That's also where we have a big concentration of liquidations, short liquidations around there. So an interesting point if this does continue higher, but for myself, I think one more move down, test this as support, and then we can go for it afterwards. So I am certainly looking for longs here, but right now I would like to see one more move down before that happens. Now, if we lose this support, okay, 36,400, very, very important. Okay, there's a lot of confluence down there. I went over this all in yesterday's video, but we have our confluence there. Okay, golden pocket. You add on this, you've got your NPOC down there. Okay, lots of confluence. You would like to see that cleaned up before there is to be any move higher. And if that is lost, I think there is a fairly high probability that we do end up getting a nuke at the very least back down to our monthly open, which is a scenario that we have spoken about. Okay, we're coming towards the end of the month. If we're not repelling away from this monthly open at the end of the month, then we are going to be attracted back to it. Okay, so we've had this month going up, up, up. Is this a distribution? If so, then you would very realistically expect to close the month right back down there where it started, which starts to look very, very bad on the monthly, which can get people in short positions. Then maybe we have the opportunity to sweep lows before potentially another move higher. Okay, so it's making a higher low again right now. It still will be making a higher low if we come down into this zone here. But if we do lose that, I think it's inevitable we come and take out the previous week lows, and then below that we've got that POC. It's unlikely that that would hold as well. So if we do start to nuke this back down, if we can't hold here and we see that selling delta coming in, we see aggressive sellers, I think a move down here would be likely, and then we're probably looking at a situation like this. Then if you recover the range, happy days, higher prices because you're going in for a range, you're sweeping the lows, you set the highs, and then everything's been basically taken care of. Or we have the situation where we get that move down to fill all of these single prints. I think beyond that is a bit wishful thinking if you're a bear. Okay, like I said yesterday, we're going to need a lot of volume and some real big kind of panic black swan event in order to get price below 30k again. However, you can never say never with trading. We don't know what's going to happen next, and you have to be prepared for any scenario. Other than that, right, okay, I don't normally do the legacy markets when I do these Bitcoin updates, but yesterday on the dollar, okay, I am bearish dollar macro, okay, but there is a potential here, having come down, taken out these lows yesterday, okay, with Bitcoin not doing very much whilst dollar was pulling back, with the Nasdaq and the ES not doing very much while the dollar was pulling back. The fact that it got this bounce and is now back testing that reference level, if it can start to break this market structure, get back above that yearly level, then we could see a move back up to 105 here. And if that does happen, it's going to create some carnage across the rest of the market, okay, because this has been our bull run. All right, this has been our bull run here. Now, if that starts to get reversed, then obviously prices within that we've seen through this bull run will also start to pull back as well. And that's where we can see the 10 to 15% corrections across the board. That is something that is, yeah, would likely happen at that stage. Now, what we also have on here, if we look on the Nasdaq's a little bit of an easier chart to show, okay, what the Nasdaq did coming up and sweeping this high. Okay, there's a lot of room below for this to fall back into. So if the dollar does start to run, okay, the Nasdaq could very easily come all the way back down to that like 15s, 1470, 1480 if the dollar gets a correction. However, consolidation above here, very similar to Bitcoin. We are continuing to slope higher. Shorts have been continuously getting squeezed, and we're very close to all-time high. Okay, so very, very close to all-time high in the Nasdaq, and I think that's still, as we are in an uptrend, yes, okay, we can talk about the possibility that the dollar can get a bounce, but the dollar is in a downtrend. the NASDAQ is in an uptrend, the ES is in an uptrend, Bitcoin is in an uptrend, and you've got to continue to play the trend until that starts to break. The last thing I want to mention as well, I don't do legacy markets too often on here, but if you'd been following on Twitter, and also if you're in the crew, you'll know just the importance and the amazing accuracy that the TPO can give you. Okay, so yesterday I gave this update. We were expecting a range bound day. We were expecting to be able to sell any sweep of initial balance high, and that happened on a couple of occasions, taking that back into your midpoint. So really, really good opportunities to go short at the highs, knowing that it's likely to be a range bound day. And then also knowing that there was an 88% chance after this high got taken that this low would not. And this was repeated on the NASDAQ. You come all the way down to it, creating a very, very cheap trade. There's your invalidation. There's your opportunity to go long after taking out all of these lows and then getting a move all the way back up to value area. So the TPO chart giving like some fantastic trades. We followed all of these within the crew. So if anyone is not yet signed up, then please do visit tauruscrypto.com. This is what you get when you're in the crew. Okay, these are the setups that we shared for Bitcoin a little bit earlier. This was all the money that was made yesterday. This was some trades that we were taking throughout the day. We were looking at these situations. We were trading this stuff live that I'm showing you on the screen, and we were making some good money from it. We also have everyone else that's within the community making some great trades as well. And there was some really good profits to be had yesterday. Benny $1,400, Maz with $500. We've got some good money being made in the crew from those ES and NASDAQ moves. So we're not just trading crypto over there. We are also trading the legacy markets. We're also trading altcoins a lot. There's some really great altcoin setups. A load of guys posting fantastic ideas on the altcoins. Another one that we shared this morning on one USDT Harmony, which is another potential setup that we have. So if you are interested in joining the crew, take yourself over to tauruscrypto.com or wop.com /Taurus-crypto. The links for everything are in the description below, and that is where you can sign up for our community, okay? And learn how to trade properly, professionally, with good risk management, with good technical analysis, and start to learn all of the theory that I'm talking about in these videos. Now, finally, do we want to have a quick look on EXO? We can bring up EXO charts now. We did get that delta divergence at the bottom yesterday, which did lead to a decent bounce here. What we are seeing again so far today, we've had a move down in open interest, and this has just been majority longs closing. Delta relatively flat as we were yesterday, but a potential to build those bullish divergences. I don't really like I say, I still would like to see that move down to hit these MPOCs. But if we do continue to consolidate here, if we do start to build those short positions, okay, if they start to move up and without being able to move price down, so increase in short positions, price not moving down, showing that the sellers are getting absorbed here, then that would give us a reasonable indication that price is likely to move higher, okay? So ideally, you want to see this move down, create those delta divergences again. We're actually getting some bearish divergence locally, and this is just on a 4-hour chart. We can look at what's going on more locally as well. But just to show you quickly, the general order flow, the general way things are going is pretty neutral right now, but we do need to look for, when we do hit extremes, either create another low, find those delta divergences at the bottom, or continue to push up, find another delta divergence up at the top that can give us an indication that this is likely to reverse, because on each of these occasions you can see how well this has reacted. And this is the same no matter where you trade. Okay, you can bring up the buy bit. The Binance chart as well. If it does decide to load, it's a little bit slow, so we can maybe have a look at the TPO while it's loading, or we can just wait, or we can move over onto one of these. We'll just wait. TPO chart, similar situation. Okay, delta down quite significantly. I probably need to reload this one. But yeah, we're continuing to see just a lot of selling, both spot and perps, and whilst we remain in an uptrend, then higher prices do remain the higher probability. Here again, you can see here on the Binance chart, okay, when you get these delta divergences, they're often very good indicators that you're going to get a reversal. We had these yesterday, single candle divergence, and then overall kind of accumulative trade size divergence up at the highs and down here. And we're actually getting a bit of a push here. Okay, we are getting a bit of a push. So that does look like we might be breaking through that daily open right now. So if we just go back and have a look over here on Bitcoin, can give you a slightly, maybe a little live update. That is your daily open. So we had the rejection after we took the highs. We're at the daily open here, and this now is the key resistance. You flip this, and it's very likely that we come and take out previous week open. You flip that, and we're honestly back to 38K after that. So interesting. Decent move up that we're seeing so far. I'm going to wrap it up here because I do have a meeting in 3 minutes, and I also would quite like to trade this soon if we do get the opportunity, if we do come back down below that daily open. But on that note, thank you very much for watching. Please do give this the like, do the subscribing thing, follow along, give us a comment. The comments really help. Comments are the most important thing. So just comment your thoughts. That is the one thing that really helps the algo. So if you are still here, please do say that, and please do comment below. And on that note, I will see you all again very soon. I'll be live again later. I am non-stop. I'll be live for New York Open. So I'll see you then. Have a great day. Cheers. Bye-bye.